Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you a detailed tutorial on parting your own hair. I did this parting particularly for installing these amazing passion twists. So let's go. Okay, so I will be using two mirrors. I'll be using the mirror at the back and the mirror at the front. And the first thing I'm going to do is ear to ear parting, but I'm going below. It's ear to ear, but not middle section. It's not like separating into two sections. Rather, it's ear then round to the other ear, not over to the other ear, if you know what I mean. So using my two mirrors, they guide me on these partings, but also just to point out that I was using a lot of instincts and my fingers were really helping me feel if I have the right size or not. So if you can see, I'm using my finger first to point me where I want my parting comb to go to, and then I would use just instinct to just go over to the other side, and then I would use a mirror again to just make sure that I have the perfect parting, and then I'll proceed. So just the fingers would help me to know if I have the right size of parting. If not, then I have to like clean it up, then put a section away, and then I'll work. So in this first section, I'm only going to have these two sections, and then in these two sections, so to begin with, you part this first section into equals, two halves, and then in these two halves you're going again to subpart it into other two halves, so you'll have quarters. So as you can see, I'll just have quarters. So in the first row I'm going to have 4 partings, yeah, and then I'm just going to do basic 3-strand braids on my hair. And I went all the way down because my hair can really tangle, so I was not going to risk leaving hair out because I wouldn't know the situation of how my hair will be when I remove the passion twists. So I just want to be safe. So I just did normal 3-strand braids, then I did the same to the second section, and that will be it. And then to the second half, again, I'm just going to partition it into 2 sections, and then I'm going to just do the same 3-strand braids. At the end, the remaining hair, I'll just come later on and do some twist outs, just to keep it away quickly. So again, you can see my fingers are the ones directing me, because there's something about using the mirror. When you use the mirror and try to use your brain at the same time, it always tends to go the opposite way. Like you try to point your parting comb in this direction, but then when you're using the mirror, it's like you're going in the opposite direction. So I always use my finger, and then I'll use the parting comb to find where my finger is. Anyway, we're done with the first row, so now we're going to the second row. Now here, I want you to notice that my parting is not going just straight above the other partings. Rather, it's the middle section of the partings that I made in the first row. So you see that parting is right in the middle of the first one of the 3-strand braid, and then the other parting, again, it's in the middle. So I'm doing this because I don't want some annoying results where you can see like a whole single strand of line like going from the middle all the way down your head. So yeah, this is just to ensure that whenever I do the passion twist, it feels like all the gaps, not leaving out these sections visible. So yeah, I basically did this. So this is my first section, it's done. Now the second section, I'm just going to part the remaining hair into 2 equal parts from the middle section, so just the 2. And this is to ease my work. When you do this, it's going to ease my work. I'm not particularly going to work in this kind of middle section. Rather, I'm going to work in loops, but when you part it in those 2 sections, it becomes easier. So as you can see, I'm trying to create a loop here, but only pausing at the middle section. So the first loop is coming from the front all the way to the middle, and then I'm just going to do the same thing. I do a part right at the middle of the strand below it, just to cover that up, and then I do a 3-strand braid, and yeah, I just continue all the way down. Anyway, as I was mentioning, so I did these 2 sections just to be able to manage my hair. And also, you know how when you're doing somebody else's hair, you can always come from one side all the way to the other side with the parting. When you're doing your own hair, if you try to do that, it can be really difficult to achieve a perfect parting. So oh, and before I forget, so what I'm doing here is I'm recognizing that for this particular parting, I'm gonna need another piece of half from this other side of the section. So I just took it and then kept it away. When I'll be working towards that, I'll piece them together. So that's why you're seeing some piece of hair is thrown on the other side, and I'm working on this other side. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. So yeah, it's really difficult to part from one side all the way to the other side. So doing it in halves really eases the work, so you can really part easily, and you can get the perfect partings as you wish. So I am done in the first section, and this is what I have. Well, it's perfect. I honestly did not expect to achieve this kind of perfection, but yeah, I did, and I'm so proud of myself. Now we go to the other side of the parting. So what I'm trying to do here is basically connect all the partings from this other side that I've already done to the this other side that I'm going to do now. So I'm trying as much as I can. If you see something is not perfect, I was really trying, and this was really difficult. I think this was one of the most difficult. I think at some point I even thought, like, why didn't I just go to a salon to get all this done? But then I remembered the amount of hair I shed when I go to the salon, because the salonist is not patient enough to take good care of my hair. So that kept me moving, kept me doing this. It took me a lot of hours, I think about 5 hours to finish this. But yeah, it was totally worth it. So yeah, now on to the last section. So by the time you're doing all the loops and then you get to the front, you realize by the time you're getting to the front, you're actually not working through a loop anymore, rather just a straight line. It all comes to perfection when you do it right. So at any given point when you feel that I've gone too quick, please feel free to play this at a slower pace so that you just get to understand what I'm doing. And this is the final strand. I've tried to make this video as short as possible, but yeah, I had to go through a lot of footage. And when I was done, I was actually sure to count how many strands I did, but now I've forgotten how many. But these are the results. These are my partings, and this is how they looked. Oh, I was so much tempted to leave my hair at this point and not do the fashion extensions, but I really hate to. So yeah, I eventually did the passion twists, and this is how they turned out. They were really amazing. I still have them. I think it's now 4 weeks down the line when I'm recording this, and this was my final results. Let me know what you think in the comment section. See you in my next video.